Hi guys, I'm Scott from SCR Tiling and Bathrooms, and today I have a product which I've purchased for this review. Rubi products. Rubi notched trowels. I've been using these type of trowels, which are the 45-degree trowels. You see that? Get my bonds out of the way. For about 5-6 years. These are some nice brand spanking new shiny ones. And yeah, let's do a review on them. So Rubi brought these out a few years ago, and a lot of people were saying that it's just a gimmick. It's just a gimmick to get you to buy more tools, more trowels. So get yourself out the old way and try something new. And at first I thought the same. And I was hesitant in buying one. And a shop gave me one to try. And I went and bought 4 more different sizes. I was that impressed with them. I bought more, which is good, I suppose. So these trowels are basically designed so that when you're using them, it doesn't really matter what angle you're doing. You get that really good bed of adhesive in a nice notch, nice and clean. And you know what, for something so simple, it really works. It really works well. I used flat trowels for years, and never had a problem with them. You know, liked them a lot. Probably get more problems with these. But when it comes to spreading the adhesive and notching up your wall or your floor, I swear by these. I think they're really good. Basically, the tooth angle is 45 degrees. The front edge is just flat. Quite frankly, I would get rid of them. Hardly ever use them. It is a hardened steel, and it has a lacquer finish and a ergonomic soft grip handle. I don't know what makes it ergonomic. It fits in the hand. What if you've got tiny hands? Trowel feels nice to use. It spreads adhesive really well. I mean, it notches up. As far as I'm concerned, it notches up better than a standard straight trowel. I prefer a square edge notch as opposed to the rounded. I think you just get more coverage with your adhesive, and it puts your adhesive to better use. But yeah, these are really good. It's got a lacquer on it, which, to be honest, it doesn't last very long. I assume they do that because it's not stainless steel. It's just hardened steel. I mean, you can even, I don't know if you'll be able to pick that up on the camera, but in that corner there, you can just about see where the lacquer's sort of picked off, and it's gone a bit rusty. Trowels go rusty. I mean, you don't wash your trowels down and then dry them out with a towel straight away. You just chuck them in your bucket and go home. The lacquer doesn't stay on there forever. Is that a big deal? It's really not a big deal for me. I mean, I don't clean my trowels sort of every 10 minutes all day, and I do find that quite a bit of adhesive will build up and deposit along this edge, because it can be quite difficult to scrape your adhesive off of the trowel when you're picking it up, or if you want to sort of move it about a bit in the bucket. So I do what most people do. I'll use a scraper and I'll scrape it off. Or I have a polishing cup which I'll put on my grinder, and probably once a month I'll go through all my trowels and just give them a quick clean up, and the lacquer just peels off. If you get a bit of adhesive on there and it dries, then it's not, when you peel it off it just takes the lacquer off with it. Doesn't really affect the use of it. It's just don't know why they do it. I suppose it sort of gives it a little bit of prolonged life, but in the real world of being used and abused and worked quite hard, it's going to come off. These are the 8mm and what we got here, 10mm. And these are predominantly my go-to trowels in everyday tiling, walls and sometimes floors. I will go bigger than 10 if necessary, but 10mm covers, you know, some pretty reasonable sized tiles these days. And yeah, they are just really good. The only thing I would like to see Rubi do to combine with these is a bucket with one of the edges same width as the trowel, just with a straight slope. Doesn't have to be big, just a straight slope instead of it being round, so it's like a square-ended bucket. But in their rubberized systems that they use, I have actually got a bucket on its way to me for review, just to make it easier to scrape the adhesive off your trowel. These are, I mean, I find them better and easier to use for floor tiling, purely because I'll mix my gear up. I will turn a bucket on its side and I will take all the gear out. I will notch up the area that I'm going to fix, and then I will stick the tiles, and then I'll go and mix up and start again. With the wall tiling, I find it's a bit of an annoyance really, sort of getting the adhesive out of the bucket, getting it on the wall with that notch can be a bit of a pain, but once you get used to it and you sort of been with them for a while, I think you'll actually find the benefits of it. I think there is benefits to it. I think you're going to get better surface area coverage. You're going to get, I swear blind adhesive goes further with these than it does a standard notch. I think it gives a better square edge notch, so you're going to get better adhesion for your tile. And what more can you say? I think it's a really good product. I mean, if I was going to rate this sort of out of 10, it would be up there. I mean, there was the odd thing that I'd like to change about it, just because, you know, I used to sort of change my old trowels. You can grind the teeth and you can change the size and the width of them, but obviously you can't do this because it's 45. But I think they're just a standard size, and nothing really negative to say about it. I suppose it's what's going to be a 8.5, 9 out of 10. Yeah, it's just a really good product. So if you're going to be tiling some floors, highly recommended. Walls, yes, large format on walls. Definitely go into your local tiling shop if they do Rubi stuff and say, no, I'd like one of these instead, please. They may well have them on the walls, on the shelves, or under the desks or whatever, or they can order you one in. If you use one of these, what it will do is it encourages you to straight notch more, rather than all those pretty swirls. Check out my swirls. No, that's not good practice for tile fixing. What you're going to do there is create high points, which some people want to do because the floors or the walls are a bit crap, and it can help you get over those. But if that's the case, what you should really be doing is using a bigger trowel, or putting your effort in your preparation to your substrates before you start even thinking about fixing. But what these do, they'll encourage you to do a straight notch, which gives you a much better bond to the surface you're sticking to. And that is about it. I'm Scott from SCR Tiling and Bathrooms. Hope you enjoyed this review. Check these out. They are well worth a purchase.